Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, man? What's good? Folks, I don't even know what to say right now, man. I don't even know what to say right now. I got so many different emotions going through my mind right now, but we're going to welcome y'all into this live. We're going to have a good one for y'all tonight. Make sure y'all check in and let me know where y'all are coming in from. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all check in. We're going to be on here for a little bit. We're not going to be on here too long, but we definitely going to get into this live a little bit because I'm definitely shocked at what's going on. Shout out to New York, Chicago, Canada, Colorado. Shout out to Omari. I see you. Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Buffalo, New York. Montreal, Indiana, London. Dallas, Texas was good. Shout out to Vincent, Australia. Where else we got? We got Antigua. Shout out to Antigua, Indiana, Washington, D.C. Shout out to the hometown, Florida. Keep coming in. We're gonna get it going like another 2 minutes. So let's just give some shout out. Shout out to Qatar. Shout out to Jersey, Connecticut, Springfield, Fort Lauderdale. Where else we got? I see we got Anthony from Jamaica. We got Ant92 from Dallas, Texas. We got let me see who else we got. We got Ray from Puerto Rico. Shout out to Puerto Rico. Pepper from Germany. We got a lot of people coming in here. We got NY from NYC. We got Shagan from Cape Town, Japan. Shout out to Japan. What else we got? What else? We got New York. We got Japan. We got the dirty South. We got Ireland. Shout out to Doha, Maryland, the hometown. Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to get it going like 30 seconds. What else we got? Brazil. Shout out to Brazil. Be More. Ricardo from St. Lucia. Lawrence from the UK. I see you. Ryan from New Juice Island. We got Sammy from Trinidad. We got T from Colorado. I see you. We got Chief from Alaska. We got Joe Francis from India. Okay, let's get it going like 10 seconds. Let's get these likes up. We got Arizona. And Thinking, shout out to you in Houston, man. Abia State, Nigeria, shout out to you. And Thinking, okay, I got you. Okay, let me go ahead and get into this live real quick, man. Let me get into this live. Y'all keep coming in. Keep checking in. Greensboro, North Carolina, I see you. That's Sam Jr., I see you. Child of God, St. Kitts. Vinard, Columbia, South Carolina. Okay, let's get into it. Man, this is a game I can't even believe just took place. I cannot even believe this game just took place. If y'all have been following the channel over the last, let me say 2 hours, y'all have saw what I posted on the channel. Just this evening, I was like, you know what? I'm going to relax a little bit before the game starts. It was like around 7:30, and I'm playing God of War, Ragnarok, and I'm trying to fight that stupid ass berserker with the two other ones that chase him around. I couldn't beat him. I was getting so frustrated. So I turned that off. I'm like, this is actually not relaxing me. It's pissing me off. So then I pick up my phone and I look at my Instagram and I see a picture of Kawhi Leonard. And the minute I saw, not even a minute, the second I saw Kawhi Leonard's face, I already knew what it was going to be. I scrolled down a little bit further and I saw Adrian Wojnarowski through the Clippers president, general manager Lawrence Frank says Kawhi Leonard will be out with no return timetable. Immediately after I saw that, I was one of the people against James Harden, the James Harden trade. Games like this proved that it was a good trade after all. With the way Kyrie played in the fourth quarter and for James Harden, the ball deserves a big praise. Shout out to Zeno Omega. We definitely going to get into James Harden. Trust and believe. Appreciate your contribution to the channel. So I saw that news, man, and I went to the community section. I put up a post, and I'm like, yo, I'm tired. I'm tired. I've been supporting Kawhi Leonard for 5 years, and every time, at least the last 3 times he's gotten injured, have all been in the playoffs. And this year, it was exactly identical to last year. He plays 2 games, and then he's gone. Now, this case is not an injury. He's dealing with inflammation, but the effect is still the same. So I put that on the channel, and I'm going through that. Before the game even starts, I step out to go to the store because I'm like, man, I'm just so out of it. I'm not even in a mood right now. I go to the store. I come back in the house and I'm like, well, I might as well put on this game. I was already pissed off. I'm like, I might as well just put it on to see what the hell is going on. I open up my computer and I look and I see that the Clippers are up like 27 points. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? How the hell did they go up by 20? So I'm watching the game. And as I saw the box score and I'm seeing the way that they're playing, I immediately thought to myself, I said, the Clippers are playing with the same freedom that they had in game one without Kawhi Leonard. In game one, it was Paul George, it was James Harden. Guys were moving the ball. There was more freedom and there was a more flow in the offense. The minute they brought Kawhi Leonard back into the lineup, the number one thing that suffered with the Clippers, shout out, appreciate the super chat, was their offense, because their defense was pretty good. But I think what happened was the minute they brought Kawhi back, everybody started overpassing and then they started deferring to each other. They didn't want to step on anybody's toes, and Kawhi wasn't good enough, quite frankly, to even be back because he really wasn't making an impact to even begin with. So when I saw the box score and I saw that the Clippers were leading, I was like, this is incredible. So let me get to the box score here because I got to give a lot of love to a lot of people that played in this game. Let me get to the box score here. Let me first start off with Paul George before I get to James Harden. Paul George in game 3, I believe, scored like 7 or 9 points. 7 points. And I got on Paul George. I was like, Paul George got to be better. You got to be better. Kawhi Leonard scored 9 points, but he was dealing with an injury and dealing with a lot of rust. So you can kind of understand that. Paul George, he just got in a lot of foul trouble. But to have 7 points in a playoff game is inexcusable. By a max contract guy. The only guy that really showed up in game 3 was James Harden. He was the only one that kind of got it going. Somebody said cardiac clippers is what I call them. Get your blood pressure medicine ready. Appreciate the super chat from Sam Franks. Appreciate that. So shout out to Paul George. Paul George came ready to play this game. He scored 33 points with 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals on 58% shooting from the floor, 70% shooting from the three-point line. Let me read this super chat. 2K teacher. Even the Dallas Mavericks, even when Dallas took the lead, I knew the Clippers would win the game. PG was killing it. And that fourth quarter shot was absolutely insane. That's exactly what I was about to touch on. The James Harden haters have to sit down for a day. He was unstoppable in the fourth. You are 100% correct on everything you just said. When the Mavs made their run, and I think they cut it down to 2 points, if I'm not mistaken, something told me that the Clippers were going to find a way to respond, and that is exactly what they did. And I want to give a major shout out to Paul George, especially with that corner 3 that I think he must have shot from behind the back. When he shot that ball, a part of me said, this shot is going to go in. And when he hit that shot, trust me, I think that was a very, very big shot for Paul George's confidence moving forward in this series. That was a very, very big shot. I have absolutely nothing to complain about with Paul. He played a disciplined game. He didn't get into foul trouble. He was able to be available for his team. He was huge in the first half. So Paul George definitely did his thing. I also want to give some love to Norman Powell. Norman Powell came off the bench. He stayed confident. He trusted in his shot. And he made some very, very, very big plays for the Clippers in that game. Let me look at Norman Powell here. Norman Powell finished the game with 11 points off the bench. 11 points off the bench. He hit 3 out of his 5 3-point shots, which were all big threes. All big threes. Terrence Mann also hit 3 of his 6 3-point shots. But I want to get to the man of the hour. And I want to get to the man of the game. And that man is James Harden. And I want to be the first person to stand up in front of y'all and say that I owe James Harden a public apology. I'm one of the people. I'm one of the people that was upset when the Clippers made that trade for James Harden. I said that it was a bad trade. The Clippers were rolling at that time. And I thought that given his history, given his nonchalant attitude to losing in the playoffs, I just felt like he wasn't a right fit, especially from a culture standpoint, for this Clippers team. I thought that it was a bad move. And on top of that, I thought it was a bad idea at the time for Ty Lue to start all of those guys in the in the starting lineup. So I was one of the people that was against the James Harden trade. And folks, I stand in front of you guys here today. James Harden made believers out of a lot of us. The fact of the matter is, James Harden hit clutch shot after clutch shot after clutch shot in that fourth quarter for the Clippers. He really showed you why he is a Hall of Famer. Somebody just mentioned the minutes. Let me look at how many minutes James Harden played. James Harden played 40 minutes in that game. Why is that important? And shout out to the Ed Frank that brought that up. Why is that important? Because one of the knocks that has been against James Harden has always been around his conditioning. James Harden is not in shape. He doesn't show up in shape. He doesn't look in shape. James Harden doesn't really care about getting his physique in shape. This has been a thing. You saw what happened in the Nets. You saw what happened in later stages with the Houston Rockets. So for James Harden to have that stench that's been following him all throughout his career in terms of a playoff performer, for him to walk into this arena in a pivotal game 4 when you know Kawhi Leonard is not going to be available, for James Harden to confidently step into the moment and hit clutch shot after clutch shot after clutch shot in that fourth quarter. We got to tip our hats to James Harden. If we're going to say James Harden chokes in the playoffs, we're going to make fun of him. We cannot do that today. James Harden played his ass off. Clippers have two playoff games without Kawhi against a healthy Kyrie, Luka, and Dallas Mavericks. We should think about that. Appreciate the super chat and a comment. Il Magic, you bring up a good point, and it's a good segue. What does this loss by the Dallas Mavericks say overall? Because to me, what it looks like is somebody says Luka isn't healthy right now. That could be true. Neither is the Clippers' best player. So we're going to throw that out the window because this is the playoffs and we don't want to hear about that. You look at the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard are not going to play. If the Indiana Pacers advance, don't nobody want to hear about, that's just the playoffs. It happens to the best of them. But we got to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks were picked to be the favorites to win this series. Before the playoffs even started, let's get these likes up to 250 likes, guys. I would appreciate that. Before the playoffs even started, we ran a poll on our channel, and I think about 8,000 to 10,000 people voted on that poll. And we asked the audience, who do you think is going to win this series between the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks? In that poll, 60% of the people picked the Dallas Mavericks to win that series. People on TV picked the Mavericks. Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal. I know Kenny Smith picked the Clippers. Keyshawn Johnson picked the Clippers, but Skip Bayless picks the Mavs. Paul Pierce picked the Mavs. Stephen A. Smith picked the Mavs. Chris Mad Dog Russo picked I think he picked the Clippers. I could be wrong, but the majority, and I think Kendrick Perkins picked the Mavs. Shannon Sharp picked the Mavs. So the majority of people picked the Mavs. The majority of people. What do I have to say about the Dallas Mavericks? Dallas is a much improved defensive team. There is no question about it. PJ Washington, Green, even Luka Doncic taking some pride in his defense. He's improved his defense in the playoffs. Kyrie Irving has improved his defense in the play. The Dallas Mavericks play good defense. They play good defense, and they play like they're interested in the game. They really, really do. But To lose that game on your home floor without the Clippers' best player, I think that was a blown opportunity by the Mavs. And if the Clippers somehow, some way find a way to win this series, we got to really start talking a little bit about Luka and these boys, especially Luka Doncic, because the narrative going into the playoffs when we're talking about this series was, well, the reason the Clippers beat the Mavs is because Luka never had any help. Luka never had any help. Well, in this particular series, Luka Doncic does have help. The Mavs are the more healthy team. Luka has been pretty much healthy and available for all of the games. In the case of the Clippers, they have been without their best player. So the Mavs have had an advantage since the start of this series. They've had an advantage. So the Mavs theoretically should be up 3-1 right now. They should be up. They did get down 27 or 30, 31 points or whatever it is. They did fight back. But some people could be asking the question, how did you even let that happen? Because had it been in the reverse, had it been that the Clippers were home and they got a 31-point lead at home and the Dallas Mavericks were not available and they blew that lead, people would be saying that the Clippers choked, that Kawhi Leonard choked. That would have been the story. That would have been the narrative. Let me get to the next part. Appreciate you guys coming into this live. Also, please make sure you hit the likes. Let's try to get the likes to 300 likes. I appreciate y'all. Let me see this right here. I'm going to look at the box score real quick. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. I want to talk about Kyrie Irving for a second. Kyrie Irving is one of the most incredible basketball players I have seen like in my lifetime. Kyrie Irving finished that game playing. How many minutes did he play? Kyrie played 44 and a half minutes, and he scored 40 points in that game. 40 points. And had it not been for Kyrie Irving, it would not have even been a game. Kyrie was the one that sparked that run in the second and third quarter. It was Kyrie Irving. Had Kyrie not gone off the way that he did, this game would have gotten out of hand. So shout out to Kyrie Irving. Say whatever you want to say about him. Say whatever you want to say about his stances or the stuff that he says or the stuff that he does. Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest playoff performers of all time. He plays with supreme confidence, and he always shows up in big moments, and he did today. And he damn near won that game for them had Paul George not hit that insane shot from the side of the court, from the baseline. He would have probably won that game had Paul George not hit that shot. Let me read the super chat here. If Kawhi is out of the playoffs, which it seems like advanced to the second round, what does it tell you about Kawhi and the Clippers team near the future? Appreciate that. That's from Ryan Newsom. Shout out to you, man. I heard some reports that Kawhi Leonard wanted to play this game. He wanted to play this game, but the Clippers made a decision as an organization to hold him out of the game. The fact of the matter is the following. At this particular point, man, if Kawhi Leonard is not going to be at least 80% of himself, I would at least hold him out for the rest of this series. I'm being serious with you. At this point, I would rather the Clippers roll the dice with who they have and what they have and try to see if they could beat the Dallas Mavericks. This is just my view. I could be 100% wrong. And find a way to get him back to be game ready for the next round if they're able to advance. The reason I'm saying that is twofold. Number one, he is not healthy. And number two, the effect that he has on the team when he's playing. He throws their offense into whack because they're trying to integrate a player that has not been a part of the offense in over a month. And it's not like as if you're trying to bring in a role player or a guy coming off the bench. No, it's six man. You're bringing in the best player back on the court. So if you bring him back, it's going to screw up with something, number one. Number two, number three, I don't want to mess with the rhythm that James Harden and Paul George and Terrence Mann and Norman Powell and these guys are established. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. I'm beginning to believe that the Clippers have enough. I could be wrong, but I think that they have enough horses to probably win this series. Probably. I could be wrong, but I believe so. Because they have a lot of scoring and they have a lot of talent. Don't get it twisted. Paul George is, the pandemic P and all that, whatever. He's had his moments. But Paul George is still Paul George. He's still an immensely talented basketball player. James Harden is still freaking James Harden. And for whatever reason, he seems to be motivated. For whatever reason. Did you see how calm he looked in that fourth quarter? James Harden looked unfazed by what was going on. He looked totally unfazed by what was going on in that fourth quarter. And you seldom see that. You seldom see that. So to me, if I'm the Clippers, I think that there is no point in bringing him back for game 5 unless they say that he's ready. But if I'm the Clippers, I would rather, if they're going to bring him back this series, I would try to bring him back game 6. Regardless if they win or lose, I think on Tuesday. I think the Clippers are going to play on Tuesday. I could be wrong. Let me see. Let me just look at the calendar. Appreciate you guys that just came in. We still doing the live. Just give me a second here. The Clippers are going to play on, is it Tuesday or Wednesday? They're going to play on Wednesday. They're going to play on Wednesday. So if I'm the Clippers, I will hold them out till game 6 because after Wednesday, they're playing on Friday. So if I'm the Clippers, if Kawhi Leonard can come back, I would hold him out all the way till Friday's game. That's just my point of view. Y'all can agree or disagree. That's what I think. If I'm them, give the man an additional, because he had off yesterday, he had off today, plus another, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He's going to have off 6 days. Give him off that 6 days. They got the win that they were supposed to get and roll the dice in game 4 and game 5. Now, personally, do I think that the Clippers could win game 5 at home? Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think they have enough talent. They're going to be going back home. And the game that they lost at home was the game they had Kawhi Leonard in, and he just was not himself. I hope they don't bring him back in that game, honestly. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the 1,000 people that's been this live. Let's try to get the likes up to 300 likes. Let's see if we can get the likes up to 300. Somebody says Sixers suck. They're done. Yeah, I think the Sixers are done, man. Oh, my goodness. Hold up. Now that we on it, I got to give some love to the Knicks, man. Just give me a second. I got to give some love to the Knicks, man. I got to give some love to the Knicks. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, I think, scored, 48 points in that game? I'm trying to pull up the box score here on my phone. Shout out. Let me see. Games. Jalen Brunson scored, box score. He had a career high, a New York Knicks career high, playoff high of 47 points in Philly to go 3-1 up. I already picked the Knicks to beat the Sixers, but man, that was a performance. Shout out to the Knicks, man. That was a very, very impressive win by the New York Knicks and by Jalen Brunson and these dudes. Shout out to them. But in terms of the Clippers, man, listen, that would be my suggestion. I think that they should hold out Kawhi Leonard for game 5, bring him back for game 6, and roll the dice on him for game 6. If they win game 5, then we're gonna have to see if the Clippers are going to deem it smart enough to bring him back at all. Somebody said Luka shoots too much. Well, he has to. He has to. Kawhi off the bench, limited minutes. I don't know. The Clippers have a pretty good thing. They seem to be a well-oiled machine, and they're playing very well. So I want this current lineup that they have. I want these guys to continue to establish some type of rhythm. This current core plays that they have. They don't have to defer to a hobble Kawhi and Leonard anymore. I agree with you. I don't think they should risk it because so far what we know is that The only lineup that's been able to beat the Mavs in this series is the lineup without Kawhi because he's not healthy. He is simply not healthy. They said he wanted to play, but the organization said they shouldn't, and I think that was a good decision. Somebody said Real TV said save him for round 2. That may be an option. I think they would just do that. And if they lose, then it is what it is, man, because I think he would do more harm than good if he's not healthy. That's what I personally believe. I think he will do more harm than good if he's not healthy. So these are my thoughts, man. That was a very, very impressive game. I did not think the Clippers were going to win. Honestly, I was in a terrible mood. But it was very, very surprising to see that finally I got some damn good news today, especially after how those goddamn berserkers were whooping my ass in God of War Ragnarok. Man, that game got me pissed. I'm playing on God of War difficulty, and I just cannot figure it out and watch videos. I don't know how the hell to beat those 3 mofos, man. I just don't know how to do it. I done tried everything. They keep whooping my ass. I do not know what to do. Shout out to you, Carly. Luka Doncic is a horrible defender. He's so slow. Well, Luka's improved his defense throughout this series. He's improved his defense. I gotta give a hand to Luka. Shout out to Eric Chu. Clippers won without the claw. Somebody said Luka plays no D. Now Luka's improved his defense. I think Luka does a lot of complaining. Luka does a lot of whining, like a lot of whining. And the refs almost messed up that game. Like, I don't know what the hell the refs were doing. It's crazy. Somebody said the Clippers are 2-0 against the Mavs without Kawhi. It's crazy. Do you think the Clippers should think about trading Kawhi next season if they succeed the playoffs without him? I don't think they will because they've already given him max money. No, they've already extended him. And number 2, they will be like, well, why trade him when we can keep him we can keep a great player? Like, I don't think they would do that, but I don't want to go that far right now. Let's see how this thing finishes. If the Clippers lose in round 1 in the playoff and they get closed out, and then then we can really have those discussions. Right now, I don't think I'm ready to give an answer on that right now. I think it'll be a little bit premature, if I'm being honest with you guys, to kind of give an answer on whether or not they should. Because if I say that, truth be told, it would be because I'm having an emotional reaction. I'm keeping it funky. If I said that, a lot of it will be based off of emotion. So I want to see if he's able to come back, play well, and be able to contribute to this team's run. Because listen, if the Clippers get past the Mavs, then what happens in the second round is going to be very, very interesting. Why do I say that? Because they are now going to sit back and watch, although they're going to be playing the number 1 Oklahoma City Thunder, but they're going to be in a very, very interesting position because now in the next round, you're going to have 2 juggernauts, and the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves go up against each other. So you get to sit back and watch one of those teams take each other out, which is going to be fantastic for you. You're still going to play one of them. But you get to sit back and watch them just maul each other and then try to play the winner, because that series is going to be crazy. I know it's a bit I'm presuming that the Nuggets are going to win tomorrow, but man, that series is going to be crazy. So keep them out, let them rest, watch those people maul each other to death, and then try to bring him back if the Clippers advance. For now, man, I would just hold them out. And if the Clippers lose, then I would say, hey, listen, it wasn't their year, and they got unlucky. But I don't want to mess with the chemistry the Clippers got right now with James. Yo, did you see James Harden? For the new people, did y'all see James Harden? James Harden was hitting clutch shot after, like, him and Paul George redeemed himself, especially Paul George in this series, because the last game he had 7. The last game, James Harden had 7. One could make an argument that James Harden has been the Clippers' best player this playoffs. We could make a legitimate argument that James Harden has been the best Clipper this entire playoffs. And if we're going to be getting this vintage James Harden, then the Clippers are better than a lot of us thought. Because with Kawhi Leonard going down, you're unlocking a guy that can get you 25 to 30 points a night with 12 to 14 assists per game. You have a Paul George who would probably get 22 a night playing with Kawhi Leonard, 18 to 22. He can now go for 26 to 28 a night. And they can be in a rhythm. But if you have Kawhi and those guys are out of a rhythm, then everybody gets hurt. Because James Harden and those guys, they're rhythm guys. They need multiple shots to get going. Harden needs the ball in his hand. He can't be playing off the ball and roaming all over the place. Nah, I would keep it the way it is. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to play Kawhi Leonard on Wednesday. I don't think they will. I think the Clippers should just hold on to what they have and try to see if they can make it a round 2. That's if it's me, these are my 2 things I would do. I would see how game 5 goes. If the Clippers win, I'm not bringing back Kawhi for game 6. I'm not bringing him back. If they lose, then I'll bring him back for game 6 and just say, well, it's an elimination game. We need you. Let's just roll the dice. But if they win that game 5, I think the Clippers should hold on to keep Kawhi for the second round and rest him for like a week and a half. That's what I will possibly do. That is just my opinion on this. I could be wrong. That's what I think. So anyway, man, I appreciate you guys for being a part of this live. We appreciate all the super chats, all the support you guys have been giving the channel. And I needed this win, man, because I was in a very, very sad mood, man. I was in a very, very bad mood. So this was a great one. Appreciate you guys for being a part of this. And we're going to catch y'all. We're going to catch y'all tomorrow. We're going to keep this playoff grind. We're going to keep this playoff grind going. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays with your family and friends. Y'all have a good one and be safe. Y'all have a good one. Peace.